So, was Cat Williams right in his recent Netflix special where he said that Ozempic is whooping Hollywood's ass and that it's too strong? Or is it like how Oprah describes it, which is a gift? It's redemption. It's something that you shouldn't feel ashamed about, and it's something that you shouldn't be ridiculed for. Well, I'm here to share with you my personal Ozempic story. This is week 1. I'm going to be doing a series, and I'm going to share with you everything that you need to know. What we're going to talk about today is 1, why I chose Ozempic. 2, how did I pay for Ozempic? 3, what was my first doctor's appointment like? Also, what have I been feeling throughout the course of this week? I'm even going to show you as well what the needle and the drug looks like so that you can feel empowered about taking the drug. And we're going to talk more about what this all means. So let's jump right in. And by the way, if you don't know who I am Rainey, and this is the Blessings and Gems channel. So the first thing I want to share with you right off the bat is that I am not a medical professional. I am not a credentialed healthcare professional, and that this is my personal journey. And so if you want to start your own weight loss program, I strongly recommend you work with your healthcare professional and seek professional advice. Now, let's talk about what I did. So a couple of months ago, I approached my medical professional, my general practitioner, the person that I see every year to get my blood work and all those things done, to get my annual exam. And I approached her about taking a weight loss drug. Now, one of the reasons why I did that was because although I'm considered overweight, according to the US standards, I do not have sugar diabetes or any ailments. I am a healthy individual, but I wanted to jumpstart my weight loss. Since the height of COVID, actually before COVID, I put on 20 pounds. And I have also started what I believe, although we can't prove it at this moment because the paperwork, or the blood work rather, is too shoddy, I believe I'm in perimenopause as well. And so I can't shake this weight. It doesn't matter what I do, I can't shake it. So I decided, hey, let me partner with her. She can write me a prescription. I have medical insurance. It should be pretty clear, right? No, not so much. So I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to go over some points about what all happened when I approached her. So number 1, in order to qualify, or at least for me, to qualify for Ozempic, I needed to have an A1C of 12 or higher. Now, what A1C measures, and when you get your blood work done annually, and you should be doing that, by the way, it usually will tell you, or on that report, and your doctor should be going over with you what your A1C level is. And all it is it's part of the blood test that you take, and it measures your blood sugar levels over the course of 3 months. And so in order to qualify for Ozempic, you have to have an A1C, or at least, again, I did, of 12, the number 12 or higher. My A1C is 5. So even though I'm overweight, I'm in good shape. So I'm an overweight, in good shape person. So back to paying for Ozempic. So again, because my A1C is not high enough from insurance to pay for it, my doctor recommended that I go to a weight loss clinic and participate in a clinical weight loss trial. Now, I mentioned before that I am an extremely healthy person. This year has been very challenging because my body is evolving into another stage of life. But generally speaking, I'm a very healthy person. So when people say things, or when she said to me, like, the words clinical trial, weight loss clinic, I was kind of like, that sounds whack. I'm not doing that. So what ended up happening was, and if you're employed and you participate in the medical insurance plan that your employer has, most employers have what's called a flexible spending account, where you can set aside at the beginning of your plan year a certain dollar amount for anticipated medical costs that you're going to incur for the year. And you can set aside up to a certain amount to spend throughout the year on things such as your copays. You can prescription drugs. So instead of you coming out of your pocket $5, $20, or whatever those minimal costs are, which tend to add up, by the way, you can, if you already know that you're going to be having surgery, or you're going to be doing maybe having a procedure done with your dentist, right? You can set aside that amount, sort of anticipated at the beginning of your plan year. Set aside that dollar amount, and they'll give you what's called a flexible spending card. So I have a flexible spending card that I preloaded for the year 2024 that has $2,000 on it, because I knew there were some things that I needed to do, particularly around my dental my dental work. Yes, I have great teeth, but I take very good care of them. And right now I have a cavity over here that I've had for 8 months that I've ignored. But anyway, back to this. So because my insurance doesn't pay for it, I said, okay, well, how can I use some of this money that was preloaded on this flexible spending account card, and where can I maybe pay for the drug to get administered, so that I don't have to start using my credit cards or using my cash. I thought about it, honestly, for a couple of months, because I've heard a lot of crazy things about Ozempic. So going back to Cat Williams's comment and all the things that we're seeing in the news with all of these celebrities breaking down, or they're 300 pounds today and then they're 100 pounds tomorrow. That is not the healthy way to take this drug. And we're going to talk about all of the things in between. So you want to stay in. I'm sort of gearing up. You want to watch this video from front to end. What I did was I found a weight loss clinic in not the state that I live in. I'm actually traveling out of state right now, and I'm here a lot. And I found a weight loss clinic, and I went in, and they take FSA cards. Now, what was really, really cool was I did my research. I wanted to make sure that there was a doctor, actually a board certified doctor who I could have some counsel with. I wanted to make sure that there were medical professionals administering this drug, and not just people with white coats on that really have no credentials, right? So that was really important to me. My goal is to lose 20 to 25 pounds. And to maintain my current eating lifestyle, but I needed, again, to boost my weight loss. I really just want a jump start, because, quite frankly, what's going to be sustainable in your life is going to be how much water you drink, what you're putting in your mouth, and how much you're moving. Those are the three things that are really going to sustain you. And I personally, because I don't need to be, I don't desire to be on a weight loss drug, or any drug, for a long period of time. Before I went on this journey, and while I was thinking about Ozempic, about 2 months ago, I enrolled in a gym, because I already knew that part of the sustained plan that I want, once again, is going to have to include exercise. I can no longer avoid it. I can't go dance it away, over the course of a weekend. This weight is not going anywhere, and particularly in certain areas. For me, it's my upper oven. So for me, I make fun of it, but I always talk about the fact that my stomach is baking bread. It's like a little bakery, and the lower oven was already there before. It was baking muffins. It had a little some biscuits going, and that was pre-COVID, and I could kind of deal with that. During the height of COVID, because I really used food to cope, quite frankly, as well as drinking alcohol, I acquired an upper oven. So now I'm baking cakes, I'm doing wedding cakes, there's all kinds of things. And I don't like how I feel. I don't like how my clothes feel. I don't like how I'm moving. I just don't like it. And so for me, I went on this journey because it's important for me to feel content and to feel joy about the way I look. I am not striving to be a size 2 or to be the weight that I'm in high school. Some people have those lofty goals. Knock yourself out. For me, it's to lose 20 to 25 pounds. And when you do it without weight loss, medication, the healthy way to do it is to typically lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. So that's my expectation on Ozempic, is to at least lose 2 pounds a week as long as I'm keeping up my end of the bargain. And what is that? I'm working out at least 3 times a week. I'm drinking water. And when I say drink water, you should be drinking on average half of your current body weight in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces of water each day. So I talked about how I paid for Ozempic. I talked about why I chose Ozempic and the goals that I want to get out of it. Now let me move into my first doctor's appointment and visit with my doctor, as well as including some of the details of that visit, and talk about some of the side effects that you should expect to incur and what happened to me. So when I say my first doctor's visit, what I'm now talking about is my first visit at this weight loss management clinic. So man, I got there early. It was the first one in. I had to fill out a questionnaire on my phone, which asked me, the typical questions about my health and my past. Asked me questions about my height, my weight loss goals, which I thought was really important. And just other questions that are pretty standard. Asked me, was I taking current weight loss management medication? And then after I filled out that questionnaire, I was escorted in to see a medical assistant. Now, what she did was she verified my answers that I put in the app and asked me even more questions. She asked me again about my weight loss goals, and we talked about that. She took my height, she took my weight, and she took my blood pressure. And then she went over all the options that the weight loss clinic offered. Now, I already knew walking in there I wanted Ozempic, because I had done my research. So it didn't take much for me to sort of gravitate to that choice, but I still had questions about it. My main question when she got to it was the dosage. So once I said, yes, I'm interested in Ozempic, she went over the dosages that they offer and why they start you out on the dosage they start you out on. So I started out on the lowest dosage. So here's a video about that dosage I started out on. Okay, so today starts my journey on Ozempic. Today I decided to go for it and start with the lowest dose of Ozempic, which is at the dosage of 0.25, and I look forward to sharing with you all about my journey. So I'm on the lowest dosage, 0.25. I was like, well, damn, because part of me was like, I really want the highest dosage, but I understand I don't want to start off at 1.0 or 1.5 and have severe cramping, because I went from 0 to 100 and my body is like, what the hell is happening, right? So it was important that I felt very respected, and I didn't feel like they were exploitative by saying everyone here starts off on 0.25, and we'll talk about how you go up from there. So when I finished up with the medical assistant, I was then passed on to my doctor, an actual doctor, who re-verified my answers again that I gave to the medical assistant. She went even further with respect to my weight loss goals. She talked about the dosages. She drove the point home about eating. So after I talked to my doctor, she sent me back to the medical assistant, who then administered my first dosage of Ozempic of 0.25. At that time, I also went over the cost of Ozempic, and for this weight loss clinic, it was $375 for a month's supply of the drug. What do I mean by a month's supply? So again, she gave me my first injection in the office in my lower right abdomen. So this is what the needle looks like. I'm not going to take the cap off at this time. In the next video, I'm going to administer it and have you watch as I self-administer the drug to myself. But this is what the needle looks like. So I paid my $375 for my my month's supply using my FSA card. I got my receipt, and then off I went. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe, like, or share this video. This is such important information. I'm giving you details, and I really, really want you to be able to share this with your friends and family and chronicle it. So let me show you sort of the goodie bag that I got when I left the office. So I got this very obscure white bag. And in the white bag was a few things. It was my 3 shots of Ozempic. So again, they gave me my first dose, lower right abdomen while I was in the office. I received also some alcohol wipes. And then I also had an ice pack. Now, the reason why that is if you notice, it says refrigerate. So as soon as you get home, they tell you to refrigerate your medication immediately. So I took mine out of the refrigerator just to show you, but I'm still keeping it with the ice pack to make sure the medication isn't compromised. Now, a disclaimer that the doctor gave me, which is really important, was because it's the first time that I'm taking the drug and it's the first time that my body's receiving this medication, to go home. Don't go shopping, don't start gallivanting. Go home 1 to 3 hours after your first injection, because you might experience diarrhea, severe cramping, or just general discomfort. Now, I didn't experience any of those side effects, but here's what I did experience. So the 3 side effects, diarrhea, cramping, or discomfort, which are the typical side effects that you can expect to experience after your first injection, didn't happen for me. I listened to the doctor. I went straight home because I just don't know what to expect. I like to honor whatever doctors tell me, or sometimes, I don't know what's going to happen and I just want to be in the comfort of my own home just in case one of those 3 do happen, right? And that's what she recommended, was to go home and within the first 1 to 3 hours, remain in your house. Now, what did happen for me was I got a bout of fatigue. It was like someone punched me in the face. Like I was out for the count for 3 hours. I couldn't move. It was unbelievable. So I, so far, have only experienced severe fatigue, but that was for the first 3 hours or so. And now I'm cool. Yeah. Fatigue. It was like somebody pulled out a can of whoop ass, and I was out for the count for several hours, and then I popped back up. Some of the common side effects are constipation, diarrhea, hypoglycemia. Again, I am not a medical professional or a certified health professional. I'm reading some of the side effects that she told me about and that were also given to me in a pamphlet. You could also have a side effect in the injection site. So if you have sensitive skin, you might even get a rash, vomiting, nausea, abdominal pain, dizziness, fatigue, headache, or anorexia. Now, those are some of the common side effects. So far, I've only experienced, at that moment, fatigue. Let's move now into how I feel a week later. So I just want to quickly recap days 2 through 5, which have been pretty much smooth sailing. Just a couple of things I wanted to point out. On day 3, I felt full, but behaviorally and cognitively, we're used to eating at a specific time. We're used to reaching for snacks, or, we have meals at certain times of the day. And so I had a meal and then I just kept eating, and I sort of forced myself, and that created some diarrhea as well as some cramping. And so on day 3, I was kind of like, ooh, okay, this is interesting. And that is because I forced myself to eat more than I probably should have. Today is, I'm actually filming this on day 5. Day 5, what I started to notice was on day 3, after I had that incident with the diarrhea and the cramping, I hadn't had a movement since that day. And I'm pretty regular. I go every day. But I had been monitoring, okay, what's actually happening. And so today, day 5, I actually had a movement. And so I'm monitoring all the things that are happening. What I'm saying to you is that, and I feel fine. I feel absolutely fine. All is well. There's nothing else going on. No cramping, no diarrhea, no other side effects. And so I'm sharing this with you because I mentioned or will mention the side effects of this drug, and you have to be cognizant of that, and you have to be honest about what that is. Had I not had a bowel movement for another, maybe by tomorrow, I would have consulted my doctor and said, okay, what's going on? What's happening? Because I'm the chief medical officer of my own life. I don't have to wait to see a doctor, or to wait to someone else, or to point to a pamphlet, or to go to WebMD or whatever it is for something to tell me how I'm feeling. I am actively monitoring what's happening in my body because it's all new to me. And it doesn't matter what I'm actually saying to you in terms of what your experience is going to be, or what you've read about or watched other people go through. Your experience is going to be your own. So just be cognizant of what's happening in your body. Monitor it. If you need to write it down, or put it in an audio voice text in your phone, then do that. But do stay, in my opinion, aware about what's happening while your body is going through this transition of accepting this drug and what that's actually doing, and be honest about it. This drug does not work for everybody. I know a few people where they actually had severe vomiting and diarrhea specifically, and it just didn't work for them. But I'm willing to give it a try. So far, it's worked for me. I'm on the lowest dosage, as we've talked about. So far, so good. So next week, I'll show you how I'm going to self-administer the medication, or I'll just do it so you can see. I'm going to talk to you about my workout regime, because again, this is not going to be something that happens without movement, my friends. We've got to move our bodies more. I'll show you some before and after pictures, and I'll try to drop these videos as premieres so that we can watch them live together. And then if you've got questions, you can drop them in the chat live while we're watching it together, and I'll be sure or happy to answer any questions that you have, keeping in mind that I am not a certified medical professional or health professional. So I'll answer it based on my experience. In the comment section, I want you to answer the question, what helped you in this video, and what do you want to know more about as it relates to my journey over the next couple of weeks/months, so that I can help you learn about what I'm going through along with my journey, and share anything that's going to help you. Once again, please like, share, or subscribe. You have to subscribe in order to be part of the premiere. And I look forward to continue to serve you. I hope this video blessed you. Lots of information. Play it back. Don't skip anything. Go from end to end, because this information is super important, and there's a lot of detail that I don't want you to miss. Until the next video, stay blessed and be well.